Hello guys, this is Tyler here. I was just wanting to show you guys my junker ss14. It's had a hard life. I just put another engine on it. It's got the 15 horse that was originally from that. This thing here, the ss14, it's pretty rough. The frame's been busted in the front, and I don't know what all damage was done, but they had to reinforce it, and it's just all cobbled together right now. I'm going to be looking for a ss14 roller frame and hopefully retire this thing. It's had a hard life. When I first got this thing, that front axle's not original. It had one of these ears busted off. It was this one right here. So I had another front axle off of a GT16 and I put it on it. But I'm gonna fire it up for you and for you to listen to it better than my old video that I had on the Facebook groups, which was almost at night and it was recorded off the cell phone. I don't have any electrical hooked up to this. It's just, when I got it, all the wires were trashed, and because it's been sitting outside, I'm not really expecting much out of this. I'm just, it's my worker. It lumps stuff. Last year I used it for mowing with the 14 horse that I told you guys about, that knocker. And it did good for that, but I kind of screwed up the trans in the middle of the frickin' year. I don't know why, but when I was shifting it, it just decided to get harder and harder and harder to shift, and eventually I had to jam it into gear, and that was not good. So when I was inspecting it, I found cracks back there by the transmission in the original frame section, so I said, oh well. And I got this 68 back half from my boss, and I had to drill a few holes. Not all the bolts are actually in it because I don't use it for anything major. It's just, like I said, something to play around with in the yard and pull trailers around or other tractors. But there for a while I was not using this to pull tractors around with because the old engine would just foul the plug. I was trying it in the garden. I got halfway done with it, fouled the plug, put it in, ran 2 minutes, which was a couple passes, fouled it again. So I said heck with it, and it's been mainly parked. I had ran anti-foulers with the old engine, and it did not work out very well. It took and fouled the plug even with an anti-fouler. Imagine that. But anyway, I'm gonna fire this thing up here in a second. I gotta put down the camera. But so far I don't see any oil leaks. But it's, it's one of those things. This engine, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. If I get an ss14 roller or even another ss15, because I don't know, it might sit on the shelf as a backup. I don't know yet. It's I've got a 16 horse sitting in the parts shed. Cylinder's great, but the dang thing smokes. I don't know, it could be valve guides, it could be rings, but when I was in it a good couple months ago, I pulled the head off that engine and there were still cross hatches in the cylinder. I don't understand that one on that 16 horse in the part shed. But anyway, I'm gonna put the camera down, fire this thing up, and we'll probably go for a little drive if I can hold the camera. Alright, I'm gonna set you in here. ss14 or ss14 that's in the shed does smoke. Engine sat for a couple of years with no pan on it or head in my one shed. I transferred all the ignition system, the carburetor, all off of the old 14. Engine runs good, it just has a tiny little slap in the piston at top dead center. It is running a little rich, but my ss14 also does that black smoke. But overall, this tractor is pretty shot, but the engine's got a lot of life left. A lot more than some of them. But this engine actually has a lot of hours. The clutch assembly on this tractor is not even worn as half as bad as the ss14. The ss15 down here, it's got wear in this bottom hole. I gotta do something soon. Otherwise I'm gonna be looking for another clutch bracket. That's the only issue with the one in the shed is the clutch. It's wearing out. But when I got this, I noticed somebody did this with a screw. I recommend this to everybody because that puts down the wear. I think it's like a 1/4 inch screw, you know, in width. Will fit in that hole, and then you double nut it. Put one on this side and one on the up back side, or two, whichever one, unless you have locking nuts. But that'll keep this spring out of the bracket itself. I know I'm shaking the camera, you can't really see, but it keeps the spring out of the hole itself and keeps it from waddling out. Overall, that was a very good idea. Whoever put this on, one of the previous owners did. I'm not running any fuel pumps off of this. As you can tell, the vacuum line or pulse line is capped off. When I got this thing, well, actually, when I got both the ss15 and this, neither one of them had the fuel pumps. They were both capped off. And I've never had an issue. The only time they really start running like crap, almost said the bad word, but is when they get about 1/4 of a tank, which a fuel pump would solve that issue, but I'm not worried about it. I don't keep them that low. I try to keep it half or above. But anyway, that is all. See you guys later.